Starting a bit early today. Got some stuff going on, so I wanted to make sure that I did this though because I don't know. I kind of like this game as like a chance to read aloud. I don't know. It's an interesting format because well, it works if you want to listen without necessarily having to watch. Like you can do other things. So I don't know. Useful format. Um, just before I start, for anybody who hasn't watched this before, I I read everything aloud. I read, it's this game is like a visual novel in a sense, and you make some choices in it. I read all the text. I'll read the choices. I try to think out loud about the choices. Although, honestly, my strategy is just go for the choice that makes Sir Brante into a doormat. Like, um, how do I describe it? Uh, it takes place in like a Victorian era setting where you're one of three classes of people. You're either a commoner or a noble person or a clergy member, and Sir Bronte is a commoner, and he tried not acting like a commoner and was beaten to death by his grandfather with a cane at the right old age of 6 years old. But it was okay because we found out that it was like a lesser death, whatever that means. So it wasn't truly his time to die. So we got to come back, and right now we're at age 7, I believe. The other thing I want to mention quickly is that right before I started streaming, I just finished a 2-hour phone call, and then this contractor showed up to my house because we have some basement mold to take care of. So I've done a lot of talking today, and I'm a little concerned for my throat, but I'm feeling good right now. I got my aloe vera gel throat spray, and it seems to be working pretty well. Mm. Plus, I got my coffee, so I think I'm about ready to dive into this. I won't lie, my memory gets kind of hazy when I put something on pause for a week. But basically, Sir Edmund, as I decided to name him, is still a child and is still trying to come to terms with the structure of his family, which is part noble and part commoner, which is an interesting dynamic. So the chapter we're on right now is the kaleidoscope. Father now checks on your studies often and nitpicks you for sitting or eating or speaking in an incorrect fashion. Once he becomes so annoyed, he says that he wishes Stefan had been the one to stay home instead of you. You never expected to hear these words from your father, of all people. Also, if the audio is messed up, let me know if it's too loud. Grandfather's trip to the capital took longer than expected. It feels lighter around the house without his presence. You allow yourself a little change of scenery. Instead of your room, you're now busy yourself with reading and calculations in the sitting room across from the open door to the yard. Gloria has joined you today. She has already helped you progress through several complex passages in the book. Right now, she seems preoccupied with a strange tube. Aren't you hurt by the way Grandfather treats you? You ask. Gloria just shrugs. Grandfather always says they should get rid of me. I'm used to it now. He hurts you a lot worse because you're closer to him. I just have to stay out of his way, that's it. She shows you the strange tube she's been holding all day. Look, it's a kaleidoscope. I got it as a gift. Want to see inside? Excited by the idea, you close the book and peer into the tiny hole on the end of the tube. Your eyes see a multitude of intricate patterns. Each turn of the tube reveals a new web of interwoven colors. They mesmerize you. The kaleidoscope turns the fire burning in the fireplace into a cavalry made of flames. You are riding at the front of the fiery horseman, ready to face the enemy. Grandfather's face emerges from the intersecting lines, and you swing the kaleidoscope like a sword, cutting it in half. Now you look at the blue sky through the window. The patterns are unending, secretive, and calm and peaceful, just like Father's smile before Grandfather's invasion. The deep blue gives way to a scattering of gold radiating gentle warmth like Mother's arms. This fleeting beauty too soon gives way to a hypnotic new pattern. Again and again you see your family in these interconnecting figures as they come together and break apart. And in the middle of this golden glow you see Gloria's green eyes gazing at you observantly. Your sister left you long ago. The books are abandoned and time slips away unchecked, but you are still busy peering into the kaleidoscope. Order emerges from the chaos before your eyes again and again, but you cannot preserve it, no matter how you try. You are caught in an inner conflict. There is so much that can be done with this kaleidoscope. Should you take it apart, or ask Gloria how it works, or keep enjoying the patterns it shows you? But you still have lessons to do today. Well, unfortunately, poor Edmund has lost his willpower, which means all I can do is keep looking through the kaleidoscope. Let's see. If I were to take it apart, I would need willpower, which I don't have. You start taking the toy apart to learn the secrets of never-ending patterns. I can return to my studies, which requires willpower I don't have. Just to finish your studies first and share the discoveries with Gloria later. So the only option is keep looking through the kaleidoscope. Keep playing with the kaleidoscope as visions of warriors bathed in glory reveal themselves before you. So we keep looking through the kaleidoscope and you continue peering into the ever-changing patterns the kaleidoscope offers you. They become truly interesting when you point it at the shining pillar gleaming in the sky. In your mind's eye, one battle follows another, filling your ears with clanging steel and the neighing of horses. You are leading the Imperial Army now. Everybody is so proud of you. Grandfather says you are better than Stefan. And Father's stern voice cuts your daydream short. You lost all track of time. It is evening now. How did you get your hands on this toy, Edmund? Why aren't you studying? Give it to me. You'll have double the lessons tomorrow. Oh, but I got a boost of willpower. Sweet temptation. Grandfather's visits are no longer a cause for fear and panic in the house. He has become something you are used to, something nagging yet not unordinary, like a splinter or a stain on your trousers. The tension still remains, however. Sir Gregor's disdain for everyone in the house is so palpable it almost stings for real. Your lessons with the tutor are done for today. You are walking down the stairs when you spot Gloria peeping into the sitting room through a slightly open door. You sneak up on your sister and tap her lightly on the shoulder. She is startled. Oh, it's you, Edmund. Look, Sir Gregor's eating something. Grandfather is sitting on the sofa. Did I say eating? Yeah, eating. Okay. Grandfather is sitting on the sofa, flipping through a book with one hand and reaching for a glass bowl with another now and then. Inside the bowl you see candied fruit, a sweet confectionery forbidden to the common estate, like all sweet things. Yet Grandfather's face shows no pleasure as he keeps consuming the high-born treats. The clock strikes 3. Grandfather rises from his seat, puts away the bowl on a shelf and leaves for the yard. He always takes a walk in the city at this time. Gloria nudges you with her elbow and looks at the candy bowl when you look at her. The first emotion you feel is fear, but next comes curiosity. and it is stronger. Stefan used to boast that candied fruit tastes incredible. Now you have a perfect opportunity to try it. You try a candied fruit first. The sugar starts to melt as soon as you put it on your tongue. It is so sweet. You have never eaten anything as good as this. You take the whole bowl off the shelf and give it to your sister. She takes a fruit and brings it to her mouth, carefully, like a rare treasure. There's a thumping on the stairs. Footsteps accompanied by the knocking of a walking stick. You have no idea why, but grandfather is back. You quickly hide behind the sofa and pull Gloria after you, but she is frozen in place with the bowl in her hands. The door opens. Grandfather's menacing figure advances on Gloria. His hand seizes her arm. "You squalid, ungrateful, low-born child! How dare you bite the hand that feeds you? You and your trollop of a mother would be sleeping in a ditch if it weren't for my spineless son. The sweet and pleasant things in life are for the noble estate, not for the likes of you. Did you forget your lot?" His hand swings and hits Gloria on the cheek. She falls to the floor right next to where you were hidden. Her fingers glisten with the warm melted sugar that brought you here. Grandfather advances again, his walking stick ready. Then he sees you huddling behind the armchair. "Please don't hurt him, Sir Brante. This is all my fault. He tried to stop me." You can already see a bruise on Gloria's cheek. This is only the beginning of her punishment. Gloria was caught red-handed, unlike you. You can still avoid your punishment. "What is it then, milksop? Did you try the sugar too? Or were you trying to stop this piece of filth like she says?" I can tell the truth. I can lie. Or I can start mocking grandfather, convinced that Gloria will join me. Interesting. Well, I kind of want to preserve my willpower since it... I guess I can regenerate it from time to time, but I want to keep some of those options open. I did say I was gonna play this guy like a doormat, though. On the other hand, I really don't like the grandfather in this game. Tell the truth. Lie. Mock grandfather along with your sister. Well, since I have the option because Gloria is grateful, I guess I'll try mocking him. This could lead to another lesser death, though. You jump up and try to shield Gloria. Then you start boasting right in his face. Yes, you did eat the sugary treat, and it was very much the opposite of sweet. Good thing Gloria did not have time to eat hers, or it would have disappointed her, too. Gloria catches on in a moment. Yeah, sugary treats are for fat, noble kids, but they're gross to us, we're just commoners. You continue her train of thought. Why, we simply got curious after Stefan started boasting about it. He told us these treats are so good, you can eat them forever. But no, your elder brother lied, they are simply unbearable. But then again, what else would you expect from grandfather's darling Stefan? Grandfather's face is red with rage. He strikes you both with his walking stick, blow for blow. You dare mock me? I will not let this stand. Know your place, you foul, low-born scum. He keeps hitting you until he grows tired, and then he leaves you where you are, muttering in an impotent rage. Soon enough, Mother comes in to find the two of you on the floor, too afraid to move. She shakes her head in disappointment. You are badly hurt and covered in bruises, yet she still forces you to kneel and recite the precepts on the lots and how important it is to follow them. Gloria's face is bruised and swollen, but she still gives you a weak smile. We got him so riled up, two commoners made an honorable noble feel helpless. Makes all the pain worth it. Isn't that right, brother? Your entire body hurts from the heavy blows, but deep inside you are ecstatic. You stood up to grandfather today. It is a victory you will remember for the rest of your life. However long that is. Relations with Gloria go up to +3. Relations with Gregor Brante go down to -2. And your determination goes up to +1. Or no, sorry. Your determination is 3. It went up by 1 point. The Sacrament. Father and mother have been focused on Nathan and you since early morning. Instead of breakfast, you are told to say your prayers, wash your hands and faces, and get dressed in plain white shirts. Today is the day of your sacrament. Mother, I want to go play in the yard. Oh, that was Nathan speaking, by the way. Your mother says, no playing today. You and Edmund are big boys now. It is time for you both to have your first sacrament. No one can live without a lot. I don't want a lot, says Nathan. Your father says, be quiet and listen. You were born commoners, so you must accept a low-born lot before the twins. When you grow up, you will get a chance to earn a noble lot. Father and mother take you to the carriage. Nathan is hungry. He starts whining. Grandfather is the last to get in the carriage. His eyes are on you and your brother, looking for every fault. Sounds like my grandfather. Soon the carriage is moving along the streets of Anizot, slowly and solemnly. One more turn and you see the colossal white building marked by 2 massive pillars. For the first time in your life, you are to enter the Church of the Twin Gods. You enter the gate and walk under the splendorous dome of the church. The church hall is divided into 2 halves. They are drastically different from one another. The floor on one side is rough and jagged and covered in dried brown spots, while the floor on the other is made of smooth marble. The commoners kneel on the jagged floor, and the well-dressed nobles and their families sit on pews. Father and grandfather leave you to sit on one of the nobles' pews. Mother walks to the rough stone of the commoner's side and gets down on her knees. You see her wince in pain, for the low-born estate shall suffer in the house of the faith. The church acolytes surround you and lead you to the altar, where you and other children will take your sacrament this day. Before you stands a tall priest dressed in black, with a sword in one hand and a hefty whip in the other. Nathan's whining grows louder. He dislikes this place. He's scared. You remain quiet, but your stomach roils in uneasy anticipation. The first child to take the sacrament is a jaunty little boy from a family of nobles. The priest extends the sword before him and recites the words of his lot. From this day forth he will fight and rule and pursue the arts, his mind now forever free from the throes of suffering, for now he belongs to the noble lot. The boy proudly touches the flat of the blade with his lips. Nathan is next to receive the sacrament. He suddenly snaps out of his fearful trance and tries to break free, but the acolyte pulls him towards the altar and throws him on the jagged floor on the low-born side. The sharp edges bite into Nathan's knees as he lands, spraying drops of red around him. Nathan. I don't wanna! Edmund, why do they want to whip me? What did I do? You try to break free and run to Nathan's side. You want to give him courage and protect him, but the acolyte's grip on you is too firm. You feel utterly helpless. Your little brother has to face the world all by himself. The priest starts reciting the words of the lot as he swings the lash over Nathan's shoulders. From this day forth, Nathan, thou shalt endure and work and suffer. Thou shalt be ardent in thy labor and humble in obedience to thy rulers. And now cometh thy first true suffering, which thou must accept with gratitude. The lash cracks. It strikes his right shoulder. It strikes his left shoulder. The blows are so powerful that Nathan falls to the floor. The priest tells him to rise. He has received his lot. Nathan gets on his feet and drags himself towards Mother, his knees torn and bloodied, his spirit broken. It is your turn. You feel your feet will not move. You can barely muster enough strength to walk to the altar. You get down on your knees and feel the sharp stones below. So sharp your clothing cannot protect you. Your skin begins to burn. The acolyte forces your head down, and you feel the lash being drawn above you, ready to strike. The priest's words are for you now. This is thy sacrament. Thou shalt work, and endure, and suffer. Thou art about to receive thy first true suffering by the sacred lash. Dost thou accept thy lot? Okay, we have an interesting set of choices here. I can accept it. Humbly accept the commoner's lot. I am unable to raise my head because I lack the determination to do so. I can catch the lash before it strikes my shoulders. Or I can defy the rite of sacrament and kiss the priest's sword. That one's gonna cost me willpower. I'm always eternally torn between making Edmund a doormat and taking some of the options where he resists this lot and life bullshit. So, there's always that chance though that I could die, and they warned me that I can only die 3 times before it ends, so I think rather than butt up against the entire church, I'm just going to accept it. The moment before the lash reaches the moment before the lash reaches you stretches out into an let me try that again. The moment before the lash reaches you stretches out into an eternity. Its sound approaches you slowly as it slices through the air. The whip cracks. It strikes you on the right shoulder. The lash is so heavy it bends your back and forces you to the floor. The lash cracks again. It hits you on the left shoulder. There is blood running down your back. Rise now, commoner, the priest tells you. You stand. Everything looks blurry. You can barely walk on the sharp floor. Mother takes your hand and leads you away from the altar. Hey, Orange Kami. Good to see you. Yeah, no worries. I knew you'd get here eventually. How's it going today? There is agony, but there is also unfathomable tranquility. This is right. This is what you deserve. This is how it should be. This is the way of the world and its laws. From this day forth, you will accept all suffering in life with humility and patience, for you are a commoner. We lost determination, we're down to 2. We gained perception, we're up to 3. Junie's raiding and you're working? Sounds like everything is right in the world. Oop, disregard that. Oh yeah. Yeah, nothing is wrong. Everything about the lot in life is bullshit. Yeah, I got some rest last night finally. But then I woke up today and I guess the gravity of everything that I have to do this weekend finally set in. And yeah, I'm like, oh, I got stuff to do. I did get to play a little bit of 14 this morning. I started doing some crafting stuff again. So that was pretty good. Wow, you stopped just as the lady comes to visit. Yeah, that's that was interesting. I sort of regret the choice I made there. I was saying earlier, I'm always eternally torn between having little Edmund be like a doormat or trying to fight against the lot and life thing, and I was like, well, she's a noble, so I'll try to be respectful, but maybe screw it up in a childish way by kissing her hand. And yeah, it really hurt my relationship with my mother, and I was like, oh. I feel bad now. But I mean, as part of the whole experience of this game, though, like it makes me like the way this game plays even more. So yeah, that's good. But yes, it was a big oof moment. Oops, didn't mean to skip that. The mark left on you by the sacrament takes a long, long time to heal. Mother says it is a reminder of your lot, suffering and sufferance, pain and patience. Gloria shows you the mark of the lash on her shoulder one day. It will never disappear. Rough. So apparently in this game, like, the gods are real, but, like, they made this societal structure, and it's like... that sucks. You are a commoner now. This is the lot you were born into. But Father keeps telling you to study hard so you may yet earn a different lot and become noble of the mantle. I was just given the choice, too, of whether to accept the lash as part of a religious sacrament or try to catch it. And I have a good relationship going with some of my family members, so I'm like, I guess I will just not butt up against the church right now, so I took the lash. You recall the past with warm sadness, when Stefan still lived with you, or when he wrote to you for a time shortly after he left. Now he thinks it's beneath him to write to the commoners in his family. Mother didn't lock herself in the bedroom as often back then. This changed shortly before Nathan was born. But most importantly, you missed the time before the terrifying figure of your grandfather was constantly looming over you. Yeah, no, I didn't know what I was getting into, honestly, but I like it. Aw, that's real sweet of you to say. Well, I'll keep trying. That's good. I'd say it's worth it, you know. There's definitely different choices that you can make. You don't have to play it the same way I do. And I can sort of see now how some of the things I've done, like, it doesn't really change the plot arcs too much, but it definitely, like, affects choices that you can make, which gives you, like, different plot bits that you wouldn't have seen otherwise. So, here we go. You learn the true power of the lot only after the head of the family's arrival. In Grandfather's eyes, no commoner deserves to be treated with kindness. Is this just him, or is it the way of the entire world? The very thought makes you queasy. Yeah, there's also the possibility that the gods themselves aren't responsible for society's structure. They could be like hands-off deist types. You are older now, and what's more, you are an elder brother now. You've learned how to care about someone else, how to teach and protect. Soon you are a small boy no longer. As the days pass, play gradually gives way to laborious study. Now your choices will decide your place in the bizarre and ruthless world of adulthood. Your childhood years are over. Ooh. End of chapter 1. Oh yes, we get a little recap too, that's nice. Soon you are a small boy no longer, as the days pass. Oh, we read that part already. Important life events that happened to you in this chapter. Born, your brother and sister, your older brother and sister took the sacrament. Nathan was born. Grandfather returns. As a small child, you suffer your first death and rebirth because Grandfather beat me to death with his walking stick. And then I took the sacrament, and I accepted it as a commoner. Personal qualities that you have accumulated in childhood, they will convert into adult qualities at the end of Chapter 2, Adolescence. My determination is 2, and it says I'm active. My perception is 3, which means I'm curious. Willpower is 5, which means I'm ready for action. Oh, that's good. That's gonna drain out pretty quick, I feel like. And deaths, I have died once so far. Here we go. Chapter 2. 8 years old.
I was growing up fast. The school, the streets, and the whole wide world awaited me beyond the gate of my parents' house.
Waving. You've lived in this world for 8 years now. As you grow older, life grows more complex. The world of your childhood was limited to your house and family, but now that realm is expanding. It also includes your neighborhood, the nearby houses, the streets of the ancient city of Anazat. A question now looms over you, growing more pressing with each passing year. What will your place be in this vast outside world? Few people in the blessed Archnean Empire trouble themselves with this question. It's not within a man or woman's power to choose. Their destiny is predetermined by their birth and those who bore them. Boy, do we know that. And yet your peculiar birth has granted you a choice. Your father is a man of nobility, a worthy example in matters of duty and honor. Your mother is a commoner of lowly estate, humility and patience made flesh. And your sky is ablaze day and night with the light of the shining pillar, the beacon of the clergy. Your back bears the mark of the lash. Will you accept the drudgery and suffering that is the lot of the lowborn for your entire life? Or will you follow in the footsteps of your father and your father's father and fight for the right to serve the Empire as a noble of the mantle? Perhaps you will follow the twin gods' word and offer spiritual guidance to others. Well, not if they're responsible for the way this world is structured. The answer lies out there in that vast, terrifying world. What awaits you beyond the walls of your home? Chapter 2, Adolescence. Events that can happen to the Brante family in this chapter. You discover the secret society your sister Gloria has joined. Oh, that sounds interesting. But it requires ingenuity. You find out about your elder brother's forbidden love. Also interesting. You join the blood tide of the Brante family. I'm not sure what that means. And it requires a lot of steps. And taking the nobleman's sacrament. Yeah, we'll see about that. I'm kind of curious. Some sort of blood oath thing, it looks like. Nathan's admonition. Your younger brother Nathan Brante receives a spiritual admonition from you. Maybe, maybe not. Events in the personal life of the hero that can happen in this chapter. You experience your first romantic feelings. You experience a revelation by the sacred silver tree. You save the local girl named Sophia from lesser death. That one seems doable. Epiphany, experience revelation, meet a girl. Personal qualities at this age. Oh nice, we're back to 0. Nobility, ingenuity, spirituality. Nobility represents how noble your thoughts and deeds are in your pursuit of the honorable ideals of the nobleman. What honorable ideals? I mean, I know what they're saying, but I just haven't seen those in play with any of the nobility in this game yet. Affects your chances of becoming a noble of the mantle and future skills that are crucial for the noble estate. Ingenuity represents how quick-witted you are and how skillfully you can manipulate a situation to your own end. It affects your ability to survive without the privileges of nobility and future skills that are crucial for a commoner. Yeah, that might be more my speed. Spirituality, your aspiration to unlock the mysteries of creation and explore the divine in the mortal world and the people around you and yourself. It affects your ability to become a priest and future skills crucial for the clergy. So basically, in adolescence, we're setting ourselves up for which lot, possibly moving from our commoner lot into something else, or figuring out how to survive as commoner. I do have to admit, even though, like, the gods are very weird, like, there is some curiosity about, like, I'd be interested to see in, like, where's their head in all of this? Because this society is fucked up. Current personality traits, willpower 5, died once. Sections that open in this chapter. The relations screen is now open. I have no relations yet. The province screen is now available. Oh, okay, so this is information about the province that I live in. I have an overseer named Archduke Melanidas. Supreme Lord in the province of your birth, known for being obstinate and despotic, notorious even among the Archneans. Our patriarch is Fotis, patriarch of the Magra province and the founder of the new faith. He was the first to defy the lots established in the teachings of Isacius. He encouraged people to find the twin gods within and says that everyone is equal in the twins' eyes. Hey, I kind of like this guy. Yep, straight lore. I'll be honest, like, I'm sort of a take it or leave it with lore, but when I get into lore, like, I really get into lore, a la MGS. But certainly if I'm streaming it, I'm going to be doing the lore some justice. Power. Current balance of power in Magra and who rules the empire. The overseer is in power. Oh, so can I, like, push it towards the patriarch? Because that would be nice. Yes, this world is extremely twisted, and I'm curious to learn more. Church. The prevailing religious school, in the province of Magra, determines the doctrines, rites, and traditions practiced by the majority of the population. Right now we're on the Old Faith, which I presume is more of this despotic dude. So maybe we can change society in a little bit at some point. That's cool. Hopefully we get there, but that might be something I'd have to do as a nobleman, or else start a commoner uprising, which honestly sounds like that would be fucking awesome. The welfare of the province and its population. Right now we're in the middle, we're secure. Things are not too bad and not too good. Order. Respect for law and stability of order in the province. We're in a state of peace right now. Okay. And they're on sliders, so this stuff can change. Map of the Empire screen is now available. Ah, yes. So we're here in Anisat, city of your birth and the capital of the arid province of Magra. It is the largest and most ancient city in the south of the Empire. Anisat is home to the Silver Tree, a sacred landmark grown by the twins when they descended to the mortal realm. The old prophecies say that Anisat is where the end of the world will begin. Ooh, that sounds like some foreshadowing. Maybe. Nearby, oh, there are other kingdoms, or other provinces here too. All these towns. So nearby Anazat we have Sulmina, A large prosperous village in the east of Magra. It has accrued considerable wealth thanks to the numerous silver mines in the nearby hills. Many Solmanan commoners have grown rich and joined the new faith. Oh. Maybe the new faith is not all that good. Then again, well, there are commoners, so... Sounds like the new faith might be where it's at. Serpent Verda. Green snake. Castle in the middle of the Magran Waste that serves as the family seat of the great Milanitis dynasty, the archdukes of the province, is the most impregnable and well-defended fortress in the south. That's the Milanitis guy. Bologna, a city that is home to the largest monastery in the province of Magra. Founded in commemoration of the final unity of all the lands in the empire, the monastery of Bologna is the second most popular destination for pilgrims after the Silver Tree. The monastery's monks are famed throughout the empire for their healing skills. Buono, a noble estate with a small village. It currently has no owner. It was formerly owned by the El Mercy bloodline before their blood tide ran dry. There's that blood tide again. Still not quite sure what that means. According to the ancient tradition, the Archduke of Magra will grant Tuono the next bloodline to be ennobled by the sword. Abren, the second largest city in Magra and a place of industry. Abren was the original capital of the province before the appearance of the Silver Tree. There's a common saying, a man from Fabren and a man from Anazat will never see eye to eye. Yeah, I can sort of see that. Enery, the headquarters of Imperial Overseer Gaius Tempest. Castle Enery itself, as well as the village around it and the adjacent tracts of land, belonged to the Milanitis dynasty until Gaius Tempest was appointed the province's overseer in the Archduke's stead. Thanks to its vast farmland nourished with imported fertile soil, Castle Enery grows its own provisions and maintains independence from the rest of Magra. Yeah, they're like, fuck you. We got ours. And... yeah, I'll bridge some of these. I'll read them at some point, but let's just focus on these other provinces for now. So outside of our home province of Magra, to the northwest, we have Astinia. The heart of the empire, Astinia is a province of bountiful harvest. This land is the main stronghold of the new faith, where commoners and nobles alike follow the new doctrine. This land is ruled by the old Archnean Diamant dynasty, but only Patriarch Junius Diamant, the Archduke's elder brother and leader of the church in the province, wields actual authority in Astinia. To the west of Astinia we have Illyria, the strongest industrial province of the empire, ruled over by the Orgriff dynasty. The noble landowners of Illyria lease out their land to commoners to build new factories and mines, a practice that continues to this day. Illyria was the birthplace of gunpowder and the firearms that employ it before the noble estate banned its use across the empire as weapons of dishonor. Yeah, they put a lot of thought into this game. Like, this is the stuff I wish I could do with my D&D games, just like have all this lore ready to go. Monia, to the northeast of Illyria we have Monia, the bastion of the Archnean aristocracy, protected from the rest of the empire by the sea and a mountain ridge. It is the second oldest province of the empire. Here the noble traditions of yore are the strongest, and the lowly lot is denied all freedom save those they absolutely require. The Monrogue dynasty conquered Monia long ago and now reigns supreme in this impregnable province. Sounds like a place I don't want to go to. Northwest of that, and the northernmost province, we have the northern provinces. Oh, there's three of them. Iona, Constanta, and Hermia. The stern and inhospitable lands of the north. They were populated by barbarian heathens until the great Archnean warriors of the past came to eradicate them. The northern provinces are governed by the Emperor's own Tempest dynasty. The provinces are very sparsely populated, with few factories or trading posts. Fishing is the main trade here. The locals say you can see the very peak of the shining pillar looming above the sea when the skies are clear. And then to the west of that, we have Archnia, the birthplace of the Empire and every Archnean dynasty, owned by the Emperor himself. The province with the most bountiful soil, Archnia abounds in ancient castles, green fields, and towering forests. Sprawling cities and factories are virtually non-existent here. No Archnean dynasty would ever let such massive human-built structures disfigure that's a word I haven't seen before. The domain, French in origin, of their ancestors. The only place in the province teeming with life and the spirit of the new age is Eterna, the capital of the empire. Give me one sec, I want to look up this word. Not often I get to add something to my lexicon. Yes, pronounced Demen. Land attached to a manor and retained for the owner's own use. Or, in legal terms, possession of real property in one's own right. Ah, yes. So basically, when disfigure the property of their ancestors that rightfully belongs to them. Okay, so that was our word of the day. And now we can continue with chapter 2. Also, I had mentioned it earlier, but as it happens, right before I started the stream, I was on a 2-hour phone call, and then somebody stopped by to check out the mold, so I was talking to them, so my voice was a little fried before this start. So I'm using this throat spray, and seeing how that works. Honestly, Cammy, I was gonna make a recommendation, but I've just started using this stuff, so I don't know if I can honestly recommend it yet. But it's got like an aloe vera gel in it, and like honestly, it works pretty well. Let me see here. I don't know if my camera will get it in focus, but it's called the Entertainer's Secret. It has, the ingredients are water, glycerin, sodium carboxymethyl cellulose, aloe vera gel, which is the big one for me, methylparaben, propylparaben, potassium chloride, and some other stuff. And like a little bit of flavoring, so it doesn't, it's not harsh, like it's not awful, and I just take it as needed. And honestly, it works pretty well. I feel better already. I don't think I have as much vocal fry as I did a moment ago. But yeah, I'll shoot you a link later too. I got it from Amazon. Alright, so Chapter 2, The Boy Down the Street. The family expects more and more of you as you grow up. The teachers and tutors hired by your father keep you on your toes all the time. Your life these days is dedicated to studying for your future, for the future of the Brante family. Oh, and by the way, I do have honey. Usually I forget to make myself tea before I do this too. Your younger brother Nathan keeps growing up too. He can hold a conversation now. You never refuse him when he comes to play, provided you have a bit of free time between your demanding lessons. It is a rainy day today. Father and mother have gone to a ball, and they left Nathan in your care. You lose track of time over the books in the sitting room, and Nathan goes off alone to splash in the creek. Soon you hear his voice begging you to come outside. He's on the porch, sobbing, all covered in dirt. You walk up to him as he continues to bawl. Nathan says, It's all that kid. He pushed me into the ditch and called me names. He said I was a fancy pants fool. I said I'll call my brother. He's still there. You have to go punish him, Edmund. Nathan points at a lopsided wooden house further down the street where the poorer artisans live. You see two boys lingering there on the porch. They are clearly both commoners, but far from poor. One of them is almost as tall as Nathan, and he frowns in a funny way, just like him. The other looks older, almost your age, but he is more broad-shouldered and taller. His name is Tomas. You've heard it before. There, Edmund, that's him. Nathan points at the younger boy and hides behind your back. Thomas grins and rolls up his sleeves to reveal strong forearms. He must have been helping his father with manual labor for quite some time. Hey, Rain Squall, good to see you. Yeah, we're reading a novel today. I decided to do some readings. How's everything going? I hope you've been well. I've been meaning to catch one of your art streams one of these days again soon too. So Thomas says, Listen up, rich boys. We don't give a damn about you or your friendship. We don't let nobody call our home a stinking rat hole. Your little brother earned his ditch dive. I just ate so many fries you cannot move. Oh boy. Is that the garlic fries? Maybe next time he'll dress up normal and stop picking fights with people who can throw him in the mud. Your hands clench into fists before you react. Nathan called them names first. No wonder they did the same. That's how it goes. But pushing your brother into a ditch is too much. Thomas stands tall and confident. He sees no threat in you. You're about to get ready for a fight when you feel a tug on your sleeve. You turn your head to see Nathan, the one who started the whole mess. Well, in life I'm mostly a mediator, so I'll probably go for one of those options, but let's see what we have. I can come at Thomas and give him a beating. Simply have to teach that jerk a lesson. Say your brother is to blame. He did call them names first. Ah, here we go. Resolve the matter peacefully. You do your best to reason with Thomas and avoid a fight. That sounds like it's not going to work, but I can try it. And then the option that I can't use because I don't have the relation with Nathan. Listen to your brother first. It seems he has something important to tell you. Ah, well. Oh, you used the pet. Thank you so much. God, I love that feature. Okay, so you're saying violence. It's been a while since I've tried the violence route. I'd be willing to give it a shot. I didn't put the tag in, but I will say backseating is allowed. I don't have to be the one making all the decisions here. So yeah, let's beat this guy up. Maybe we'll be friends afterwards. The bold-faced bully is taller and clearly stronger, but nobody talks to you like that. You leap at Thomas and start tearing into him. He jumps backward, surprised by your assault. Yeah, this is how I did fights in school. Nobody wants to fight you when you fight back. He jumps backward, surprised at your assault. It takes him a moment to compose himself, but now he's ready. His fists cover the face and he attacks you with a quick jab. It is now your turn to take a step backward. You start trading blows, huffing and puffing with rage. The younger brothers gawk in awe at the sight. Thomas does not resort to fancy moves, dirty tricks, or stupid taunts. He displays nothing but skill earned in many a street fight, and his heavy fists aim for your head. You keep dodging him again and again, trying to reach him. He takes a couple of glancing blows up, but easily shakes them off. You start swinging your fists with greater and greater fury. Also, we have a typo there. Start swinging your firsts with greater and greater fury. Oh, hey, Nate. Bit of light reading. Fortunately, Edmund has survived into adolescence. There's been no more lesser deaths so far. I'm kind of waffling back and forth between accepting his lot in life and fighting against the order of things, which is neat. But yeah, I hope you're doing well. How have you been doing today? Took ages to bring Shode in today though, because it's super windy and rainy and she's scared. Oh. Well, I hope she's happier now that she's inside. Your heart is pounding like a hammer. You see nothing but the foe in front of you. How much longer will this take? You're worn out, your breath grows ragged, and your muscles grow heavy. There is no way you can give up now. Nathan is watching you. Desperate and out of options, you swing and punch Thomas square in the nose, then immediately let his fist smack you in the temple. The blow rings through your head like a bell and blinds you for a moment. The world swims before your eyes. You clutch at your head to get your bearings. Thomas is standing in front of you, blood dripping from his nose. You no longer want to fight it out, and it seems your opponent would rather end it too, but you keep standing there, eyeing each other angrily. Then suddenly you hear an angry shout right next to you. An enraged man in a craftsman apron is shaking his fist. Thomas's face contorts in terror right away. Uh-oh. It's my father! Run! Yeah, I think I'm gonna be friends with this guy. The punishment for fighting is flogging, and the mere prospect of that makes you run like the wind. Thomas sprints in front of you. You dash across the rotten wooden planks of the back alley, up and over a lopsided fence, across a giant puddle in one leap, then forward into the tall grass. You hide there and stay quiet. You hear no sounds of pursuit. You exchange glances with Thomas and start laughing. His laughter is loud and infectious, but soon he cuts it short and grows sadder. I'll get flogged anyways. My dad's always quick to give me a beating, and then he'll start nagging me about the lots and the prayers for days like he always does. Why do I always get myself mixed up in this stuff? But fighting's the only way to prove you're worth anything, right? Seems like it if you're a commoner. She's calmed down a bit, but still on edge. In any case, she's safest in her stable where she is right now. Alright, well, I hope it passes quickly. I might suggest some mild tranks for the vet for days like this for her own safety. Yeah, well, you know, you're taking very good care of her, so definitely keep doing what you're doing. The adults didn't see you fighting, you tell him, so all you have to do now is convince them you weren't. Nosebleeds happen, right? Mother gets nosebleeds all the time. Well, we could try it. Let's hope our little brothers don't tell on us. I'll talk to mine. There's a scratch in your head. Don't let them see it. Good thing I didn't hit you in the face. There, good as new. You assure him that Nathan will never tell, and in return, you'll make sure he behaves himself so he won't get tossed into a ditch again. With that, you shake hands with Thomas. His handshake is as strong as you would expect based on his fists. You make your way out of the tall grass. You need to leave before Thomas's father goes to your family and complains about you breaking your lot. You come to a realization on the way back. You had no idea the place where you were hiding even existed, and it wasn't too far from home. Thomas smiles in excitement when he hears this. I love that feature. Yeah, I hope she'll be good by morning. Or sooner. Sooner is better. Oh, I know lots of places like that. I'll tell you what, if we get out of this mess today, I'll show you the way to the old wall. It's a perfect place to build forts. I dragged a bunch of wooden planks up there. Too bad it's no fun to build all alone. My brother never helps. He just gets in the way. You emerge from the muddy back alleys united by a secret only the two of you know. It seems you've made a friend today. Who called it? Alright, Thomas Garrow, relation +1. Still indifferent, but it looks like we're friends. Your childhood friend. He lives on the same street, born to a family of humble artisans. His dream is to change his lot, get a military education, and earn the right to a sword. He intends to join the Imperial Legion. Nobility +1. Interesting, I didn't expect that to be a result. Met Thomas in the year 1126. Age 9. It is blistering hot today, even for the sun-parched lands of Magra. As soon as you're done with your studies, you dash outdoors and out of the stuffy room. You and Thomas roll up your shirt sleeves, but it barely helps. You would gladly go shirtless had you only been in the company of other boys. But there are 3 girls in the yard today. Excuse me. There are 3 girls in the yard today. They are doing the laundry in a big wash tub, whispering and giggling. If you could, you would gladly keep watching one of them at work. Creepy. She has big eyes of deep blue, her dark hair is braided, and her plain gray dress is mended and patched all over. Her name is Sophia. She throws her head back a little when she laughs. The rays of the sun are reflected in her eyes. You, Thomas, and the other boys keep telling silly stories, anything to make her laugh. Yeah, technically 8 is also adolescence in this game. Although, based on that ripe old age of 6 joke that I made last time, I guess, like, it might as well be another lifetime. Yes, I know, that is weird. Like, you know, very heterosexual at 9. We have to nail that down. Again, I hope it's not, like, intentional, just maybe not part of the story they were trying to tell. Sophia, you sure love telling tall tales, Edmund. Oh, I remember this one time. And then Sophia hears a voice calling her home. She nods to you and runs across the street smiling. Her light steps carry her forward, but her eyes are looking elsewhere. But then a stone on the road catches her foot. She stumbles and falls flat into the dust. Girl is a very foreign. Yeah, there's something to be said about that too. Something society needs to work on. The street starts shaking from the thundering of hooves. Riders appear on the road from around the corner. They bear a coat of arms you recognize right away. A sable serpent blade upon a field of vert. It symbols the Milanitis dynasty, the family of your province's archduke. The horses dash forward. A lost wooden toy on the road cracks under their hooves. They will not slow down. They are the nobles, and the rest must make way for them. Edmund does have a sister. Well, half-sister. Gloria. She's like one of the only family members that I still get along with at this point. But yes, horses. A lot of horse sounds in this game too, which is sure something you'll enjoy. You guys are having storms over there today. I know I mentioned it on somebody's stream, but we had snow here. Oh, right, yeah, that was my last stream. It was freaking snowing out. We wound up getting 1.5 inches, which is weird for this place at this time of year. Bun Buns don't care about such concepts. Wish that were you. So, yep. Horses dash forward and crush a wooden toy. We're being invaded by another province. Sophia is in their way, just now starting to get back on her feet. Her mother is crying for her desperately from behind the fenced door. You freeze in terror. The riders surely see the girl. Are they going to stop, or are they going to trample her? In only a few moments, the beautiful girl will be toppled, trampled, and crushed. We might have another lesser death on our hands, folks. Yeah, that actually is a thing in this chapter too. Somewhere. Yeah, you can save Sophia. It costs you no willpower, and it will be a lesser death for her according to the game. But judging by the action taken, it sounds like it's going to cost me a lesser death as well. I guess... Like, is this a romantic subplot? Because... Not that I have anything against them, but I don't particularly care for them either. But, you know, I guess for nobility's sake, or something, I can try to save her. You throw yourself blindly into the road, swinging your arms wildly. Dazed by the sound of the thundering hooves, you can see nothing in the dust. For a brief moment, the horses slow down, just long enough for Sophia to get back on her feet and flee to the roadside. But then the riders dig their spurs in. Yikes. Dozens of hooves Dozens of hooves knock you off your feet and roll across your body. Your bones crack, break, and crumble. Your ears are ripped apart by the thundering rhythm of the ride. Your innards are pulverized. The last thing you remember is the sound of your own skull caving in. Poof. Well then. I guess, well, I knew that was a possibility, so... Yeah. Yeah, this game can get pretty hardcore. Well, R.I.P. Edmund. 2 out of 3. And I haven't even made it to my teenage years yet. Second death. Impenetrable darkness surrounds you. You stand alone, bare to your very essence. It paralyzes you. You have an urge to cover yourself, to hide. No one should see you so vulnerable, but you cannot conceal the truth in this place. You are bathed in an unbearably bright light. It has no hint of warmth in it. It is blinding. It leaves no shadows in the entire world. It is the light of the shining pillar itself. Yeah, to be fair, most horses won't do that to humans, but humans are bastards who use this for such things. Yeah, they were clearly trying to run her over. I mean, that's pretty fucked up. Yeah, I keep doing that. I keep chasing myself. Meanwhile, Orange Kami's like, what happened? Yep. First at 6, now at 9. Well, maybe we'll make it to our teenage years. We shall see. In this radiance, you can clearly see all your thoughts and doubts, your errors and transgressions, the contradictions that have permeated you since birth. They cover you from head to toe like rough gray tatters, but they melt away in this light. You are naked. You feel liberated and whole. It is as though all the wounds and cracks in your soul have been healed, making it the way it should be. It is as though the scales have fallen from your eyes. You see the true shapes of things now. These are the laws by which the world abides, the grand design that moves life itself. You tread a path that is barely visible in the blinding light giving shape to everything. In this light, you see the infinite complexity of the world, from the tiniest leaf to the enormity of the empire, and this world maintains its balance by virtue of the law that was embedded in it during the act of creation. So this is their fault. This whole society is the two twin gods' fault. At least that's my takeaway. Yeah, at least things are peaceful in death. But then they send you back and you have to suffer more. Not sure about that, since it's like you see the laws of this world, but fuck them laws, let's kill God. Yes, I mean, can we kill God if this is their law? Like, I want to challenge this order. Yes, let's kill God. Let's do it, please. This might be worth a second playthrough if there's a way to do that. Actually, well, I'm not saying it's not worth a second playthrough, but I mean on stream. Is this a JRPG? Well, we'll find out. Yes, and I also want Grandpa to die. I want him to die in a very embarrassing way. Ahead of you, two figures are waiting on the path. They are gigantic, many times taller than a man. The elder holds a lash, the younger a sword. The younger gazes at you sternly, coldly. You kneel obediently before him and lower your head. The god raises his sword above you. This is divine retribution. There is no law without it, nor can there be. Every action has consequences. This is what shapes the world, making its very existence possible. In this moment, beneath the gaze of the merciless God, you comprehend the law that binds the entire world together. Which manifestation of the law will you live by? Oh, thank God, my dad just got back and now Shota's doing a lot better. Good, good. My parents checked on her because they saw how upset I was over being upset, and she's chilled out a lot in the storm's called. Yeah. No, I'm super glad, you know. I know that animal bond is a big thing. It's true for me as well. Which manifestation of the law will you build by? Well, yeah. I don't like you gods. Give me a reason to like you, but for now I'm going against the law. The blade flashes. Animals are the best. Absolute best. Let's pet Brian. The younger sword slashes through the air above your head. You do not yet deserve your final punishment. The law demands that you continue your life. Your form has not been completely destroyed, nor has that of the world. The younger extends his gigantic hand and shows you the way. You must proceed. The path leads you to the top of the crown of the silver tree, spread wide in the white gleam. The branches are close now. It is time to descend. You are drawn downward into darkness. The shadows that had disappeared in the blinding glow creep around you and envelop you. This is to be expected. But the purity and clarity of spirit are still with you. Something is forcing your throat open. Air. It scratches you on the inside. Your soul is filled with struggle again, and with the contradictions from which the fabric of this world and you yourself are woven. The divine light that gave you clarity is fading away with each passing moment. You have to open your eyes. Above you is the dark ceiling of the crypt. So the crypt is like a bus stop in this game, it seems. The bus stop between life and death, the family crypt. You are reborn. Yes, animals are the absolute best. They give us so much and they ask for very little in return. It's perfect. Next playthrough of this, we need to kill God. Yes. Oh, and that Moogle emote is sweet. Nice. Riders on the road. Resuming. Then you can feel again. You sense your body, head, arms, and legs. The light fades around you, obedient before a will that is stronger than you. You return to the world. Such is the law of the twins. You will return to the world until the time of your true death, and in this world you will have a body with which to feel pain and suffering and pleasure. Oh, excuse me. Coffee repeating on me. Okay. You smell a sickly, moist odor. You open your eyes and see the figures of mother and father in the gloom of the family crypt, speaking to each other quietly. They stop as soon as they hear you gasp. Mother runs to you and locks you in an embrace as father wraps you in his cloak. Neither of them says a word as they lead you out to the surface and back home. Yeah, it is. I remember that now. My memory's not broken. Robert Brante says, "You've met a terrible end, my son. You were trampled by those horses. Don't be so careless ever again. The lives you were granted by the twin gods are not to be wasted so recklessly. You would be punished for this, but the twins have already meted out their punishment. You tremble, your steps unsteady as you learn how to move again. Your body is eerily smooth, fresh and renewed. Even the recent scars and scratches are all gone. There's something new on it, a fresh black mark, a reminder of your lesser death beneath those hooves." Oh, that's right, I was left with a mark the time before also. "Remember that by the twins..." This is your mother talking. "Remember that by the twins' mercy we are all given enough time in this world. Should you die before your time, you will be brought back by their grace. For 3 times they will rescue you from a terrible fate, but the 4th death is true and final for all." I thought she said 3rd last time. Maybe I got a freebie. "Every loss of life we were granted at our birth is a heavy blow to us, but the gods told us not to mourn a lesser death, and so we will humbly accept this and move on. See, your body has been reborn anew, with all your wounds healed. Do not mourn your loss of life, my son, but thank the twin gods for their justice. Do not speak of this, and do not ever play by the road again if you wish to keep on living." You cautiously go back outside the next day. Children from the neighborhood surround you. They all saw you get trampled, and now they all ask you the same question. What was it like to die? It sucks, I've been there twice. Thomas rescues you from their pestering. He pushes the motley crew aside, hugs you, and pats you on the back. "Look at you, buddy. You gave an entire life to keep a girl safe." Yeah. Then you see Sophia. She is standing nearby, shyly working up the courage to walk over to you. Soon she finally approaches you and begins speaking rapidly. "Edmund, why did you throw yourself in front of those horses? My life isn't worth any more than yours, so why did you think that? You weren't supposed to die there. It was all those riders' fault. They deserve to die, not you." Her voice rises to a shriek. She suddenly stops and runs back home. You stay where you are, watching her run, the golden rays of the sun dancing in her braided hair. "Edmund, keep it in your pants." Relations +1. "Hey, bottled fox. Thanks for stopping by." How's it going today? I'm doing a light read-through of the life and suffering of Sir Brante. So our relationship with Sophia went up by 1. Ability +1, ingenuity +1, spirituality +1, willpower -5. And now I've died twice. Good. I'm having a good day also. Bit busy, but you know, I got the time for the stream, so that makes me happy. Sophia has been saved. Event has happened. Save the local girl named Sophia from the lesser death. Oh, a friend told you about this game and you wanted to check it out. Nice. Yeah, this is my first playthrough too, so you're gonna hear a lot of like thinking about loud and figuring out what's going on conceptually. But for the most part, it's just reading. It is a very interesting game, I have to say. You know, it's a novel first and foremost, but they give you a lot to do with the choices, and everything sort of has like a price to it. He suggested it because I like Disco Elysium. Steam keeps recommending me that game. I'll be honest, I haven't checked it out yet, but now that you've mentioned it, like I will have to check it out. Yeah, for sure. Sophia disappeared after the terrible incident with the horses. Her friends gossiped that her parents sent her off to serve a rich noble dynasty. You haven't seen each other since that day, but you still remember Sophia's eyes, the sunlight shining in them. But no matter what, life goes on. You're 10 years old now. Your studies continue and you are learning more about the land you live in. Anazat is an ancient city in an imperial province by the name of Magra. All soil in Magra was turned to ash eons ago, scorched by magic during the rebellion of the Duke Char Milanitis. The magical arts are all but gone now, but the scorched earth has remained barren and infertile ever since. Since then, the entire province has lain barren, tormented by cold and scorching winds in equal measure, with few precious plants taking root on their own. All fertile land in Magra is brought elsewhere and brought here by an endless caravan of carts and carriages. To pay for food and soil, the cities of Magra become skilled in many trades, primarily mining and digging for metals and stone. Last fall there was an explosion just outside the city, followed by clouds of thick smoke. The first such incident frightened the citizens, but then explosions and smoke became an everyday occurrence. Soon everyone grew used to it. Father explains that the miners are using a new invention called gunpowder. It makes it easier for them to reach the precious stones and metals buried deep within the earth. Then one day, a thunderous explosion rocks the city, and black, billowing smoke covers the houses. People are stuck in their homes, all windows tightly shut. The air is impossible to breathe. Nathan coughs all the time. Gloria and you cough only when nobody is watching. If Mother hears it, she'll make you inhale those hot herbal vapors just like Nathan. It takes 2 days for the black smoke to disperse. People pour out onto the streets to meet their friends. Thomas is eager to share everything he knows about this incident with you. Let me check chat real quick. Similar as in choose your own adventure kind of thing. Yeah, I'm starting to get into that. Oh, thanks for the follow. I have infinite gratitude to my followers. Oh, for real, I do appreciate it. I know a lot of people, myself included, are hoping I get affiliate one of these days. Oh, your friend Thomas says, they took lots of burn-up people to the city temple. Mom told me she was helping the healers. There are many rumors. Some claim it was the work of a beast stirred from its slumber, while others say it's the surviving witches that continue to threaten the order and the empire with their accursed powers. But as for you, you patiently wait for Father to come back home, and then you'll ask him about it. Father spends day and night working at the prefecture while Mother spends all her time in prayer. Ah, yeah. Yep, we're getting there. It feels pretty good. It takes a full week for Father to finally come home, and he's almost completely spent. You muster enough courage during dinner to ask him what's happened outside the city. Father raises his head, his face a bleak, weary mask, and starts muttering his proclamation. It's almost as if he doesn't see you. Father says, "It's the mine outside the city. They were trying to get a vein of ore. There was an explosion, the mine caved in, and the black smoke started flowing. Many workers died there. It was all because Count El Velasco, who owns the mines, wanted them to start mining that vein before they were ready. Some of the workers weren't even reborn. Perhaps the twins thought their final time had come. The prefecture had been inundated with complaints from families that have lost their breadwinners, asking the judges for help. Many people also lost their cattle to the black smoke. Count El Velasco blames gunpowder for the disaster. The prefecture and the newspapers just repeat whatever he says, but it's plain old greed and tyranny of noblemen that are to blame. Why is the welfare of our province always paid for with commoner lives? Well, such is the way, according to our gods in this game. Then, without warning, he grows silent again. You keep thinking about it for days. Can a human life really end so easily? Well, I've died twice in this game already, so... A single moment of bad luck and you die, only to re-emerge from the temple or the family crypt with a new black mark on your arm. Or worse, you remain where you fell, dead. Never to be reborn again. Ever. Oh yeah, I'll throw a follow your way too. Absolutely, you're a cool dude. I'll do it later on when I'm finished here, though, because when I get distracted on the computer, I tend to screw things up. Stefan's arrival. During lunch, Father tells you to stay home in the evening and prepare to meet some important guests. Your elder brother Stefan will return home by dinner tonight. Joining him will be your grandfather Gregor Brante, as well as a noble friend of the family. You're excited about your brother's return. It has been years since you last saw him. How has he changed during his years away from home? You and Father await the guests anxiously. The doorbell rings. 3 people are standing outside. Grandfather is the first to come in, naturally. He has not changed a bit since his last visit, still eyeing the house with contempt, looking for any reason to demean it. Yeah, your grandfather in this game is kind of a bastard. Grandfather is followed by a stately young man dressed in a jacket embroidered in silver, whom you barely recognize as your brother. Stefan casts a glance at your threadbare clothes, your dirty fingernails, and smirks. The last to enter the house is a personable gentleman with a worn-out, wrinkled face. You have heard a lot about this man from Father and Grandfather. He is Baron Augustin Elborn, Stefan's uncle, a family friend and the province's prefect, which means that he is the head judge and thus Father's superior. Sir Elborn smiles lightly and offers you his hand. Elborn says, "And this must be your younger son Edmund, yes? You have your father's eyes, young man." Father bows slightly to Grandfather and Sir Elborn. There is a moment of quiet when Stefan's turn comes. Father reaches out to him awkwardly, expecting an embrace. There's a question in Stefan's eyes as he looks at Grandfather. The old man shakes his head almost imperceptibly. "We noblemen oughtn't put our emotions on public display, Father, not even after a lengthy separation." There is no embrace. Instead, Stefan nods to Father curtly. He responds in kind, his face devoid of emotion. After the greeting, you proceed to the sitting room. Elborn is the first to enter. He kisses Mother's hand, and Gloria's too, and tussles Nathan's hair after he sees him hiding by the table. Grandfather acknowledges them with a glum nod. Greetings, Lydia Brante. I remember you were kind to me when I was but a child, and you must be Nathan. You could barely walk when I saw you last. Your elder brother ignores Gloria completely, not even a greeting. You proceed to the dining room in a dignified manner and take your seats. The dishes smell delicious, but they merely punctuate the overwhelming tension at the table. Elborn is the only one with a friendly smile on his face. "The dinner is splendid, Lydia. Did you choose the dishes yourself? You have a truly refined palate. It warms my heart to know Stefan spent his early years with you. Womanly care always does a child good, no matter the estate." Your fork freezes in the air halfway to your mouth. You expect many things from a noble of the sword, but words of praise for a low-born woman are not one of them. You cast a glance at Grandfather. He looks like he's about to choke on those words. Yes, knobs the rich. Yes, eat the rich. For real, though. Just kidding, not really. Yeah, it's... The society is just inherently shitty for 90% of the people in it. Imagine that. And apparently the gods are the ones who designed it. And the gods are real in this game. Confirmed, so... like, what's going on in their head? Your grandfather says, "It would do my grandson more good to stay at boarding school among his equals." Please, Gregor, parenting is no less important. Nothing can replace a mother's love. I cannot deny it. It saddens me greatly that my late sister could not be there to raise Stefan. But there was still a family for him, and he was surrounded by love. How could that be bad? And besides, his father was by his side all the while. A father's example is always the best. After all, Robert earned the judge's rank the same way you did. Your grandson will surely follow in your footsteps. And who knows, perhaps even the younger men of the Brante family will contribute to the... You clumsy, low-born cretin! Everybody is startled by this sudden outburst. Grandfather's face turns red. He is glaring at a young lady servant holding a pitcher over a glass. Stefan is sitting right next to her, dabbing a napkin on a fresh stain on his jacket. Begone this instant! The lady servant runs away, leaving the pitcher on a small table by the door. After a quiet moment, Elborn smiles again. It appears the servants have left us, yet dinner is far from over. Worry not, uncle. There are enough commoners at this table to keep us served with food and drink. Ugh. Stefan glares at Gloria across the table. She is sitting right next to you. She shrinks down and hunches over under his gaze. Father furrows his brows. Mother covers her mouth with trembling hands. Grandfather sneers. Stefan's gaze does not move. The silence lasts far too long. Then she starts to rise from her chair. If the Brante gentleman so wish it. Her hands clench into fists under the table. How can he bring himself to humiliate his own family, his own mother and sister like this? It's all grandfather's doing. Stefan could not even bring himself to embrace father without his permission. And yet, they are noblemen, and they have the right to act this way. If there is any way this dinner can become even more unbearable, you do not want to see it. So I have some choices here, but I'm curious as to why my destiny thing is highlighting. Oh, probably because I saved Sophia from death. Fight Stefan? Is that our vote? We should step out of line and insult Stefan for what he's done. Make small talk over dinner. Oh yes, that method. Try to act like nothing happened. Make small talk with the guest. Join Gloria in her plight. You rise from the table and help your sister wait on your family. Okay. Yeah, I'm kind of leaning towards Cammy's choice here. Only because, like, I'm not sure if I feel like if I start a fight with the uncle here, like, that might keep me out of nobility. Yes, I agree. I want to see things go pear-shaped, but I'm wondering if this is the right time for it or not. And honestly, the only reason I want to be able to keep the nobility route open is so that I can dismantle from within, if possible. But we shall see. Man, everybody wants violence though. Yeah, I think we'll just help Gloria out. That might get me some more relation points with her at the very least. You deliberate for a moment, then take the napkin off your lap and rise to join Gloria. A moment later, you hear the sound of another chair moving. Your mother joins you. The three of you now refill glasses, serve food, and clear away dirty dishes. Sir Elborn tries to make small talk with father, but in vain, so he focuses his attention on grandfather and Stefan. Grandfather is pleased to inform him of Stefan's achievements at the boarding school, especially his exemplary sword fighting skills. Yeah, maybe. Could have been. We'll have to see what the payoff is. Also, sorry my voice is starting to hoarse out again here. He constantly stresses the importance of your elder brother for the future of the family. You listen to him dispassionately as you continue serving new dishes to the table. As you wait at the nobleman's table, you, your sister, and mother never bump into each other. Your labor is impeccable. Grandfather could not have found fault with it even if he tried. got a feeling that Stefan would fucking shank you. Yeah, I mean, like, noblemen are just like, oh, you sneezed? I mean, we've seen with Grandfather, it doesn't take much for them to just straight up murder you. Your shoulders and back are aching, but being a manservant inside your own house hurts even more. When the guests finally leave, Mother and Gloria embrace you with relief. You did not neglect your relatives and shared their humiliation, and the composure that you have shown gave you new strength. Ah, yeah, we got some more affection from Gloria. Yeah, there's like, in this playthrough, there's like a history there. We always look out for each other, so I like to keep the momentum going with that. Oh, and we got some willpower back. Nice. That's good. That's like your stamina in this game, in a sense. And we made it to 11 years old, folks. Unfortunately, I'll be needing to go soon, so we'll try to get through this year of life, or at least this part of this year of life, and then that'll be it for now. I'll be back later, hopefully with a special guest, but we'll be trying something different. So for now, though, we'll be ending soon. A dropped handkerchief. Hot, dry wind sweeps through the city from the barren lands around it. The noble residents of Anazat prefer to remain in their chambers, while the commoners huddle in tents or in the shade of the silver tree. You are on an errand right now. Your father wrote a letter to a noble acquaintance, and you are to deliver it. Thomas, the boy down the street, is tagging along. The two of you are inseparable now. Oh yeah, I mean, like, it's I won't keep it a secret. It's Steve from GamerFail. He's coming by later today, so hopefully if we have some time we can do something together. That's the goal anyways. It's all kind of up in the air right now. But yeah. And it might be happening a bit late for you guys over the ocean there, but you know, there's always VOD, so we'll see how it goes. So even if it's late, I'll probably still try to do it if we can. The errand is an easy one, so you decide to take this opportunity to loiter around the part of Anazat where the nobles live. So here you are, in the middle of the city square, resting on the ancient brickwork by the old fountain in the merciful shade of the gargantuan silver tree. Thomas is by your side, lazily slouching on the edge of the fountain's basin. It's a hard life for commoners like you and me. Either you break your back in a workshop day and night, hoping someone will buy your goods someday, or you become a manservant to some noble. You never get a chance to enjoy life. I like this guy. This is our lot, you remind him. We work and endure and suffer. But Thomas waves your words away. Yeah, I really like this guy. Yeah, I know all that already. Mother keeps drilling that stuff into me. We must be humble, our strength is patience and persistence. So yeah, I say, but I want to make my fortune no matter what. So how ain't that living by my lot, I ask you? But the lots, they ain't easy. Let's take you for example. I feel like I should read this guy in like a Brooklyn accent or something. But the lots, they ain't easy. Let's take you for example, Brante. Your father's a nobleman, but even if that didn't make you one, just look at your hands. You never had to work as hard as me, but we had the same lot, so we're supposed to suffer the same. But look at your father. He's a judge. He toils at the prefecture day and night doing his judging. And he's a noble. I've never seen an Arknian work as hard as he does. You shrug. The Arknians are a different race. Books say they were born to rule over humans. They are never commoners, always nobles of the sword by birth. They founded the empire after subduing all the human kingdoms on the continent. Humans will never be their equals. Sorry. Arknians are always better and smarter, stronger, and their skin is a noble shade of blue. If the books are to be believed, of course. You have never seen one yourself. Oh yeah, thanks for following my friends, too. These people are all my friends. Everybody's my friend. Your idle chatter is suddenly interrupted by a rugged-looking guardsman dressed in black and green. He chases you away from the fountain. Common rabble like you have no place here. You hear the clattering of hoofs and wheels against the cobblestones and see flags bearing a coat of arms, a sable serpent on a field of vert. It makes you squirm. It is the Archduke's coat of arms, the Milonitis dynasty. The carriage door opens, revealing a young lady in a luxurious dress. You cannot look away from her. Those dainty shoulders, suggested but not revealed by the cut of her dress. Oh boy, do we have a men riding women situation here? Her black hair cascading over them, her stately slim silhouette, her pouty lips and prim nose, and those eyes— I don't like reading this kind of stuff— and those eyes dark like the night sky, the way she moves, fluidly, gracefully, and most of all, her skin glows an azure blue. She is a masterpiece given life. She is an Arachnean. Yeah. Well, still a good story in spite of its hiccups. Clear the way for me. The Milonitis guardsmen work quickly to clear the way to the fountain for the Arachnean lady. The searing sun dances on her skin in bizarre patterns. With one elegant motion, she reveals a handkerchief, then leans over the basin and wipes her head and neck with its cool water. Well, I'll be. That's Octavia Milonitis, our Archduke's own daughter. The Arachnean turns away and proceeds gracefully back to her carriage. You see something slip out of her hand and fall onto the cobblestones right next to you. Her handkerchief. It is right there by your feet. Intricate craftsmanship, expensive woven fabric, delicately decorated with emerald filigree. Your heart skips a beat. Will you dare draw the beautiful Arachnean's attention in order to raise her lost possession? Would you rather not attempt to cross the chasm between you and her? Yes. My handkerchief! Okay, I can give it back to her. Probably gonna cost me willpower for some reason. I can stash it, which will probably come back to bite me later on. Or I can keep it as a memento, so I can stash it to sell it. Or be a creeper and hold on to it. Yeah, I'm gonna give it back to her. Are we getting into a forced romantic subplot? It takes a moment to overcome your fear. You follow the young lady Milonitis and call out to her in a nervous voice. She turns around, her beautiful face marred by a puzzled expression. You extend the dropped handkerchief towards her. Lady Octavia's face contorts into a sneer. She signs to the guardsman indifferently. Oh, okay. Not my preferred outcome, but it's better than forced romance, so I'll take it. A guardsman's gauntlet-clad hand slaps you in the face. It rings your head like a heavy bell. Your nose cracks obediently under this staggering force. The rest of you follows suit, and you fall prone. You can discern the guardsman's voice through the painful din in your ears. Should I take the handkerchief back, lady? Yeah, to the guillotine. Bring back the guillotine. I used to say that at work a lot. And yet I still have a job. After a commoner's hands have befouled it, let him wipe himself with it for all I care. I guess I should have kept it. The carriage drives away. Thomas runs up to you and drags you back to the fountain. Your head is still ringing from the blow. The fateful handkerchief is still crumpled in your hand. Surprisingly though, Octavia Milonitis will remember you because of this. I guess that romantic plot can still happen. And we lost some willpower. Was it worth it? I don't think so. Okay. You experience your... So what was that stuff about Sophia? Was that just like Hornt EM? Alright, well. I'm not judging, I'm just trying to figure it out, that's all. You unlocked heterosexuality. No, stop trying to put me in that box, world. 11:30. Okay, well, I did say I was going to finish at the end of the year, so this is going to be it for me for now, folks, but you know, that I'm having a lot of fun reading this stuff out loud on stream, so I think, you know, the next few Saturdays, or hell, maybe even like Crown Zeroes has been kind of taking me off lately, so I'm